Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be doing my favorite video to film, and I love watching these videos as well, but it is my March TBR game. So I play a little bit of a game. It's kind of like a TBR jar, but a little more complicated because complicated is more fun. So here's what I do if you've never seen my channel before, is I have this cup right here and it has numbers 1 through 6. 1 through 6 relates to another cup or a free pick. 1 is any physical book, 2 is a non-physical book, so anything on my Kindle, my iPad, audio. 3 is a prompt, and I'm using the prompts right now that my boyfriend made me for Christmas still. 4 is 25 and 25, one of those books. 5 is continuous series, and 6 is a free pick. So if I get the number 6 out of here, I get to pick whatever book I want. I also have my Kindle here so I don't forget about it, because I do tend to forget about my Kindle books. I don't know if you guys can even see that, but we've got fantasy, science fiction, romance, basically like lit fic has its own shelf, and then the bottom, which you guys definitely can't see, are sequels and nonfiction books. I also have a stack here next to me that is all fantasy that I obviously cannot fit on the shelf. So let's review how I did last month first. So I also have a challenge. I challenge myself each month to read the best book that was published the year before. It's like the most popular book added to the most shelves on Goodreads. And that book was Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I did read this book. I really liked it. And then I was looking to make sure that I knew what April was, and I saw that March had changed. It's now James. I don't have the dust cover on this guy because it's over there because I'm currently reading it. So this wasn't on my TBR technically, but if I wanted to stay true to my challenge, I thought, oh, I should read that book too, and I did. Well, I'm about halfway, maybe a third of the way through. So I'll definitely finish that before the end of the month. Today is Friday the 28th, I believe. So there's that. And then there are 2 books that I pretty much only read from my TBR this month, except for James, which kind of counts, kind of doesn't. But I figured since I had it, I should read it anyway. And then I also read these 4 books already this month. So 6 of Crows, A Man Called Ova, 7-Year Slip, and Emily Wilde's Map of the Otherlands. And I loved this book. I was so excited to read it. I'm currently also reading One Dark Window, which is on my TBR, and really liking it. I'm about 60% through. I don't think it's a 5-star read for me, but I do like it a lot. And then I didn't get to these 2 books, The Silent Patient or Happy Place, but I am going to read Happy Place this weekend, I think. Because I forgot that I was doing a buddy read with my sister, and because she like watched my video and was like, oh, I want to read Happy Place, and I was like, oh, let's do a buddy read, and I forgot to read it. But I do have the full weekend to read this book, so I should be able to do that. And I don't know if I'll be able to get to The Silent Patient. I would love to, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll be able to start it and roll it over. Who knows? So those are my books for last month. I finished 4 out of the 7, and I'll be done. I'll definitely finish 6 out of the 7. This is the only one I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get to, because I really do only have the rest of today, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, which I definitely can read one of the books in that time, but not both of them, probably. Maybe. No, I'm not going to say, but I might be able to start The Silent Patient. Who knows? This is a 25 and 25, so that's why I really want to read it. My original plan was to read this one this weekend and leave this one off, but then my sister reminded me that I was supposed to read it, so I have to read it now. Sorry, sis. Okay, so that was last month. I think I did pretty good. I had 7 books on my TBR. The book club book for this past month was A Man Called Ova, so I was glad that I picked that. I was actually able to choose the book club book for last month, so we gave like 3 options, and then everyone votes, and this one had the most votes, and it was already on my TBR, I think. So yeah, A Man Called Ova was our book club book. My book club meeting about this book is tonight, and so I don't know what our next book will be, but I have an inkling of what it might be. I don't know. I'll try to get that one on my TBR as well, just in case. So I have the top book from April 2024 and potentially another book. But if I don't get the one I think will be our book club book, I'll just add it at the end. If it is, but if I can get it on there, that'd be great too. I don't even know if it's our actual book, but okay, let's go ahead and get started. So I would love to get 3s for prompts that my boyfriend made, and a 6. And I mean, anything I'd be pretty happy with because I made the game. So the first one, ooh, yay, it's a 3. So the first one is gonna be from the prompt jar that my boyfriend made me. This is like a vase that is shaped like a book, and it has some Lego flowers that he also gave me that I made in there. And the prompt, there's quite a few left. I'm gonna go for one like on the bottom. Last month I just went for one on the top. Or did I even have any last month? I don't know. I hope I get a lot of prompts this month. I don't know. Would be nice. Let's go with this one right here. So this says, he like taped them to look like tulips because that's my favorite flower. Adorable. And let's see. We've got read your favorite book that's under 200 pages. So I think he's just saying like, because my favorite book is not under 200 pages. So I don't think he's saying to read my favorite book. I think he's saying to read a book that's under 200 pages. So I do have a few options for this actually. I think I have like 4 options. I could go with, on my Kindle, the next Murderbot Diary book, or the next book in the Mind F series, because I have both of those on my Kindle and I know they're both under 200 pages, or at least close to under 200 pages. I believe they are. But I also have these 2 books right here, which are pretty thin. I am in the mood for I'm in the mood for fantasy this month, so none of either of these are fantasy. They're both science fiction, but we have This Is How You Lose the Time War, which is very short. Oh yeah, 198 pages, so that like just comes in. And then we have The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This one is on my 25 and 25, and it has 193 pages. I don't know what to pick. I'm ahead on my 25 and 25. I've read 8. No, I think after I finish James, I'll be 8 books into that, which at this point I should only be 7 or 6 or 7 of the way through. So like if I'm pacing it out for the whole year, so I'm ahead. So I don't necessarily have to pick this one, but I kind of want to because this is like a classic that I've never read. So I think I am gonna pick The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm very tempted to read this one too, but we'll see. Maybe I can get it for another prompt, or, you know, save it for another time. So that'll be our first book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. And this is, I'll pick 6, by the way, and 7 if I can't get my challenge book on there. So we'll put this here. Hopefully maybe you guys can see it. Not really, but that's okay. All right, let's pick a new number. I'm so tempted to pick the Murderbot Diaries too. They're all science fiction, the short ones. Weird. Okay, we have a number 1. So a 1 is picking from my physical TBR cup right here. And this has every physical book that I have. I do have some that are not in here. They're not on this shelf either. They're like Christmas or summer books. I think I'll put the summer books in starting in May because I'm going on a beach vacation in May too. So I wouldn't mind having a summer book to read. But I'm going to go with this one. I don't know what it is. It is The Nightingale. Okay. I read The Women in February, and I loved it. So I am very happy to read The Nightingale. And this is also a 25 and 25. So hopefully we don't get any more of those prompts because that is a whole number, but we'll see. So she's a little bit big. I'd say she's large, probably not chunky. I consider chunky to be like 600 more pages. This is 570. But this follows 2 sisters in World War II, I believe, and like their different experiences in France during World War II. So I am excited to read this one. Oh, I forgot to say, I'm also listening to an audiobook right now. It's called The War of the Roses. It's like a historical nonfiction book about the War of the Roses. So like the Yorks versus the Lancasters, or Yorks and Lancasters versus the Tudors. I don't really know yet. I love history, so I am listening to that one right now. I'm only on like chapter 2. So once I finish that, I'll roll it into something, but I didn't have an audiobook to listen to in the car one day, so I just put it on and I really like it. So I will put a picture of that in case anyone is interested. But yes, so The Nightingale is our second book on the TBR. That is good that I got the 200-page one, because I feel like a lot of the books that I want to read are going to be like kind of thick. I don't think this is going to fit there without my TV falling down, but we'll go with it for now. Okay, next I've got this one. This is, yes, okay, it's a 6. So that's good. I can pick my challenge book for this, which is an Emily Henry book, which is not that surprising, but this was the most popular book that was published in 2024, April 2024. So I am going to read it. And funny story by Emily Henry. This one, Daphne has always loved the way her fiance Peter told the story, how they met on a blustery day, fell in love, and moved back to his lakeside hometown to begin their life together. He was really good at telling it right up until the moment he realized he was actually in love with his childhood best friend, Petra. So, which is how Daphne begins her story, stranded in a beautiful Waning Bay. Oh, that's the name of the town, Waning Bay, Michigan. I don't know if that's real. Without friends or family, but with a dream job as a children's librarian that barely pays the bills, and proposing to be roommates with the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles Nowak. So I think it's the story between them. I've heard great things about this book. I've never read Emily Henry. I will remedy that this weekend. So I might save this more for the end of the month. Or if I love Happy Place so much, I might just jump into Funny Story. I feel like this is a lot of people's like favorite Emily Henry, or book lovers, maybe beach read. She has a ton. So we're going to read that. And that's good because now I only have to put 6 books on my TBR instead of 7. Yay, love that for me. Okay, the next one, oh, it's another 1. So that is a physical book. I hope I don't end up having to switch anything out. I'm picking from like the middle here. Okay, I got one. It is Dragonflight. Okay, so this is a fantasy. This is like a mass market paperback because that's all they sell this book in. This was published in, I think, like 1968 was its first published time, or 1967. Oh, a shorter version of this called Dragon Rider first appeared in 1967. But this is the book Dragonflight. My dad told me about this. I was telling him about I think Fourth Wing or something, and he was like, oh, there's a book Dragonflight that I know was a popular back in my day. So yeah, I decided to pick it up and read it as a recommendation from my dad. I usually like a lot of the books that my dad likes, so this actually says science fiction on the back, although if it has dragons, I would think it would be fantasy, but maybe they're like mechanical dragons. I don't know, but we will see. This is a pretty long series, I believe, too. Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books. And then there might be 2 new novellas. So, wow. Yeah, there's a lot of books by Anne McCaffrey. But yeah, we'll read that one. That's good because this is like pretty short as well. This is 305 pages. Oh wait, that's the glossary. 300 pages exactly. Nope, that's also the glossary. Wow, there's a lot of glossaries in here. So it sounds like I'm gonna need to know stuff. 287 pages, and it's really short. So this I should be able to read pretty quickly as well. So that's good. Making The Nightingale not be so sad. There is one book that could just ruin all of this, and I think you guys can probably see it. So let's hope we don't get another 1 and have that come up. Although now that I've said it, it's gonna happen because that's what happened before. Okay, 6. So, ooh, this is so tempting because I really want to read fantasy and I only have Dragonflight on it. And I'm so curious to read some of these books, but I also think that this is going to end up being our book club book. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. Because this got like the second most amount of votes, and I know people are interested in reading this one as well. So this is about two writers. One of the writers dies, and the one who didn't die steals her work and publishes it as her own, and it's like the repercussions of that, I believe. I've never read anything from R.F. Kuang. I have I've pre-ordered her, I believe, November release, which is like Catanasis or something. I have Babel and the Poppy War, and I haven't read those either. So this is like quite different from those, I believe, because this is like a literary fiction, and that would be, those are both fantasy. So I'm going to put Yellowface on the TBR because I do think we will pick it. If we don't, maybe I won't read it, but I do feel like it's going to be on my, I think that's going to be our next book club book. We'll see. Okay, so the last one, I don't even know what I want to get. I want to somehow get a fantasy on here. It's a 5. So 5 is continuous series, which I am very happy to do. Hopefully it is a fantasy series, maybe on my Kindle. Maybe 2 Twisted Crowns. That would be really good to get. Okay, we got this one. This one says The Broken Kingdoms. Okay, so the next book I believe is called A Night of Masks and Knives, I think. Yeah, and it's the 4th book in the Broken Kingdom series. It's kind of split up between like each 3, the first 3, the next 3, and then the next 3 all follow different couples. So the first 3 are done, and that couple's story is over, although I'm sure they'll make like appearances in the next one. It is a fantasy. And we just found the guy who is next in, like, he just showed up in book 3, and now we're following him, I believe. I don't really know. I can't really remember. I know there was some sort of like kingdom thing going on. I don't want to give away any spoilers anyway, but yeah. So we'll read that one. That is on my Kindle, A Night of Masks and Knives. Happy to read that. If I never read this series again, I also wouldn't be upset. Like, they're kind of like, you know, fine, 3-4 star books. Nothing's like, you know, crazy. But it is a 9-book series, and it's pretty long. And this is the prequel series to the Tbr Game, which I do want to read at some point. So yeah, The Broken Kingdoms, that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we have 6 books on our TBR, and I'm glad I have 1 on Kindle Unlimited. That means I'm actually using my subscription, which we like. And yeah, so here are the books that I'm going to be reading, along with A Night of Masks and Knives from the Broken Kingdom series. So we have The Nightingale, A Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Funny Story, Yellowface, and Dragonflight. Very different array of books, which I do like. I like having a bunch of different like kinds of books and stuff, because it's just easier for me to read multiple books at once and that kind of thing. Like, I was reading 6 of Crows, and there's a character called Jasper, and I had also started One Dark Window at the same time. Both are fantasy, but very different fantasy. And there's a character called Jesper in that. So I was like, oh God, I don't know if I can read these both at the same time. So I ended up just finishing 6 of Crows and then moved on to One Dark Window. But yeah, I don't mind reading more than 1 book at once. Currently I'm reading One Dark Window and James. So I'm excited to read these. This isn't like the most exciting TBR month, because there's nothing like I'm like, oh my gosh, yes, I can't wait to read that. I mean, The Nightingale, I'm definitely happy and interested to read very soon. And Dragonflight, I've almost picked up a few times this month, actually, because it's so small and I really needed like a fantasy fix. It's just kind of weird. But yeah, this is the start of a new series too. And I think The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is also the start of a new series. So at least we're continuing one though. But that is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, what are you reading this month? I am excited about these reads, but I'm not like jazzed. I don't know. We'll see how easy it is for me to stick to it. Who knows? I might read none of them. I usually read a couple for my TBR at least. This month was particularly good. I haven't read anything not on my TBR besides James, but it kind of was. I don't know. Yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye.